Imagine this. You're sitting around a campfire. The night is quiet except for the soft crackle of burning wood. Without realizing it, you've been staring at the flames for, what? 10 minutes? 20? Time slips away. Your friends might be talking, but your attention keeps drifting back to the fire. Almost hypnotized. Why does this happen? Why are we, modern humans with Netflix and TikTok, still captivated by something as ancient as fire? Let's start with a simple fact. Humans have probably been watching fire for at least 1 million years. That's longer than we've had language, agriculture, or even clothing. For countless generations, fire wasn't just a tool, it was survival. It cooked our food, kept predators away, and gave us warmth at night. In a way, fire is humanity's oldest screen. And like a screen, it has content. Flickering, unpredictable, endlessly changing. If you've ever zoned out in front of a fireplace the way you zone out while scrolling Instagram, it's because both are hijacking the same neural systems. Our brain's craving for novelty and pattern. But let's dig deeper. What is fire actually doing to us when we watch it? First, fire provides what psychologists call a soft fascination. It's not like a jump scare horror movie demanding all your attention at once. And it's not like staring at a blank wall, which gives your mind nothing to play with. Fire is in between. Its flickers and sparks give just enough stimulation to keep you engaged, but not so much that your brain feels overloaded. This puts you in a relaxed, almost meditative state. It's the same principle behind watching waves crash on the beach or leaves rustle in the wind. Natural rhythms, slightly unpredictable but not chaotic, pull us in. Fire is nature's built-in ASMR. Second, fire has a social pull. Think about where fires usually appear in human life. Campfires, fireplaces, candles at dinner tables. Fire draws people together physically. It creates a circle, a boundary of light in the darkness, where our ancestors told stories, planned hunts, or shared gossip. Anthropologists have even suggested that fire gave us the time to become more human. Before fire, nights were short, cold, and dangerous. After fire, we suddenly had evenings, hours to sit, bond, and maybe even invent culture. Music, myths, jokes, those may all be children of fire. So when you feel that cozy, communal vibe while staring at a candlelit dinner or a bonfire party, it's not just mood lighting. It's tens of thousands of years of evolutionary conditioning, telling your brain, relax, you're safe, you're with your people. Third, fire tickles our sense of danger, just enough to be exciting, but not enough to be terrifying. Flames are unpredictable. They move in ways that seem alive. And they can destroy, but when they're contained, that danger is thrilling. It's a bit like watching a tiger at the zoo. You know it could kill you, but the glass cage makes it safe. Fire gives us that same cocktail of risk and security. Our ancient brains love that. The thrill of danger without the danger. Now here's a fun twist. The fire trance may actually have been a survival skill. If you lived in a prehistoric tribe, someone had to keep the fire alive. Watching flames intently, making sure they didn't die out, making sure sparks didn't set the forest ablaze, was literally life or death. So the humans who found fire fascinating had an evolutionary advantage. They kept the flame going. And we are their descendants, still staring at fireplaces as if they were Netflix screensavers. Of course, not all fire is comforting. Entire mythologies portray fire as dangerous, divine, or forbidden. Think of Prometheus stealing fire from the gods, or the flames of hell in Christian tradition, or the burning bush in the Bible, a voice of God itself. Fire has always been more than chemistry. Its meaning, its power. Maybe that's why modern humans still light candles for birthdays, prayers, or vigils. Fire transforms an ordinary moment into a sacred one. A little flame says, "Pay attention, something important is happening here." And yet, there's another side. Fire is pure entertainment. Long before movies, campfires were our cinema. The shadows on the cave wall. The way sparks rise like tiny shooting stars. The flame becomes a story in itself, unpredictable, dramatic, and ephemeral. Think about it. When you watch a flame, you're watching matter transform before your eyes. Solid wood turns to smoke, ash, and light. That's alchemy. It's a constant reminder that everything is impermanent, everything is in motion. Philosophers have built entire worldviews on that simple truth. Heraclitus, the Greek thinker, once claimed that fire was the basic substance of the universe, that everything is in a state of burning, transforming. He might have been exaggerating, but staring into the flames, it almost feels right. But why does fire still feel hypnotic, even though most of us don't need it to survive anymore? Because our brains don't update as fast as our technology. Evolution wired us to find fire comforting, fascinating, and meaningful. That wiring doesn't disappear just because we invented LED lamps and central heating. In fact, there's research showing that people's blood pressure actually drops after sitting by a fire for 15 minutes. The crackling sounds, the warm glow, the flickering movement, it literally calms your nervous system. Fire is like an ancient spa for the brain. And if you think about it, our obsession with screens might actually be piggybacking on our obsession with fire. What is a smartphone screen if not a tiny rectangle of glowing light? What is a TV if not an artificial hearth that the whole family stares at together? We may have traded wood smoke for pixels, but the ritual is the same. Gather, stare, be captivated. There's even a strange irony here. For hundreds of thousands of years, fire was our greatest ally and our greatest danger. Whole cities burned because of it. Forests turned to ash. But now, most of us rarely encounter open flames at all. We live in a fireless civilization. Our food is cooked by electricity or gas, our homes heated by central systems, our nights lit by LEDs. And yet, give us a single candle and we'll still stare. Give us a campfire and suddenly we're transported back into some ancient memory, some primal meditation. So why are we mesmerized by fire? Because it's our oldest friend and our oldest teacher. Because it gave us warmth, safety, and time to invent ourselves. Because it dances in ways our brains can't quite predict, but can't look away from. Because it's both safe and dangerous, sacred and ordinary, permanent and fleeting. Fire is a reminder of everything we are. Curious, social, a little reckless, and always hungry for wonder. Next time you catch yourself staring into a flame, think about this. You're not just zoning out. You're connecting with every human who ever sat by a fire, from ancient hunter-gatherers to medieval villagers to your own great-grandparents. And maybe that's the real reason it feels so hypnotic. Fire isn't just mesmerizing. It's memory. A million years of it, still glowing in our eyes. What do you think? Have we replaced the campfire with a smartphone? Or are we still carrying the fire inside us?